Yeah, like I said, I don't have fancy editing and everything, so it has to be a part to this video. But as I was saying, Dateline 22, 48 hours, they TV shows, they looking for white women. Where are the white women? But we have missing children. We have mothers in anguish right now who don't know what happened to their children. But you let an African American child run away. Something happened to an African American child. Oh, that's a runaway. Well, unless something happened to a white child, well, oh no, we got to find them. There's billboards, police, there's manhunts, it's all on TV, and so I am going to speak out, and I ask you, I challenge you to grow with me. We need to speak out on the injustices that are done to our people in society, regardless, just like John Lewis said, if you see something, say something. So I have to say something. I have to speak out. When I was speaking out before, yeah, it helped people and everything, but you need to know who is speaking to me. Who am I talking to? How can you relate to my experiences? Well, I can relate to anything that you are going through, anything you went through, because I just about done it. Like I said, I done been to the rock under rock bottom. So I done been to the school of hard knocks. I got a PhD. So I can just about relate to anything that you are dealing with and help you get through. My emphasis really is to help basically our African American community in whatever that entails: police brutality, racism, injustice, discrimination, racial profiling, oppression, how we oppress one another, our marriages, successful marriages, now, my African American queens, you wonder why, we're running our African American kings away. It's because of this, our mouth. We need to learn to be quiet. We need to learn to be quiet and allow, if you have a good husband in your life and not a rebel, and when I mean rebel, I mean somebody that's out there. He has an alcohol problem. He has such a problem where he's not able to maintain a job, where he comes in fighting with you. His mood is changed and switched up. You don't know which way the wind gonna take him. That's a person with a problem. They got to go to work drunk. They got to come in. They are dependent on that alcohol. That is a person with a problem. Somebody come in and have a glass of wine and chill out. I dislike drinking very much, and you don't need to drink. But if you feel like you got to have a glass of wine, that's something that you can deal with. But gambling addiction, porn addiction, addiction to women, addiction to drugs, any type of addiction that is detrimental to your relationship, anything that he's doing that is detrimental to your relationship, that you can't deal with, that you say, oh no, this is not going to go anywhere, and that there's no way that this marriage or relationship can grow, then sister, you got to step out. You have got to, if he is not willing to get help for his drug addiction and his gambling addiction, if he is not willing to get help and his alcohol addiction, and when I say get help, I don't necessarily mean that he got to go to rehab, he got to go here, he got to do it and jump through hoops and hurdles, because I'm gonna tell you something, no you don't. He got to have a willingness to want, or she has to have a willingness to want to change, because it all starts here. Everybody say, well, people, places, and things. It's always going to be people, places, and things. It's always going to be liquor stores. It's always going to be people that remind you. It's always going to be your son. You can look at, I remember my son made me so mad I went and had a drink. It's always going to be somebody, somewhere, something. You can hide behind the excuse all you want to. You do not have to get on no plane and go out of town. You do not have to go to Gateway. You do not have to go to rehab. You don't have to go anywhere. You can stay home, because it starts here in your mind. When you say, I'm done, I'm tired, I done reached my limit, I'm done. chasing dreams and you know and bringing down my family and hurt my spouse, hurt my children, watching my children go through this. You know, I watched a really heartbreaking episode one time of A&E, of this father on the cocaine addictions, African American father. I never forgot it. It was many years ago. And I cried as his little young daughters cried, them little bitty girls. I watched how they cried, because no matter how much those beautiful little girls wanted their father to change, if he is not willing to make the first step and say, I'm done, that's all you have to do, is say, I'm done with it, and leave it alone. That's all he had to do, was look in the eyes of his beautiful young girls. Those young girls now probably grown, but look into those beautiful eyes of those little girls and tell him he's grown. And I pray that he did get over it. You know, I pray for anyone who is going through any type of an addiction like that, because it is strong and it's powerful. But I'm going to tell you what's more powerful. Your mind. Your mind is more powerful than any substance on this earth that they try to enslave you with. Even when they have you in chains and bondage behind bars, this is what gets you through. When you are in solitary confinement, this is what gets you through. When you are alone in the dark by yourself and don't know how you gonna get out, this is what gets you through. When you are in an environment of poverty and enslavement and oppression and don't know how I'm gonna get out of this, this is what gets you through. Because suffering builds perseverance, perseverance builds character, and character builds hope. So through our mind, you know, we put our mind over anything, mind over pain, mind over matter, mind over anything that you are going through, anything you are dealing with. You know, your back pain, your migraine, your headache, your job, your spouse, your kids, your mama, your daddy, whoever it is, you know, that is giving you problems, you know. You put your mind and say, hey, look, this is no longer going to be a problem for me, because I'm going to change myself. I'm not going to let it be a problem for me anymore. How's that sound? I'm going to change myself. It's not going to no longer be a problem where it was a problem, where I can see it's a problem, where I can see I don't have no money. I can see I don't have the house I want. I can see I don't have the job I want. I can see I don't have the woman or the man in my life that I want, because of me, who I am right now, who I've made myself to be, this tongue that I use to profess this over my life, this mess. Because God is not going to bless no mess. And I'm telling you, young lady, while you praying over your marriage, if you're not right, God's not going to fix it. He's not going to fix it until you get right. Until you say, hey, I'm going to leave my little friends that I got on the side, I'm going to leave them alone. I'm going to stop talking to them, because all they doing is putting something in your ear that don't need to be in your ear. All you need to do is listen, you know, to the Holy Spirits that are trying to talk to you and tell you the right things to do by your marriage. And leave the spiritual enemy alone. Leave that the incubus alone, because that ain't nothing but the sex demon. Leave that alone. Why you think I'm just want to talk to them and see how they doing and get over, you know, that's my friend. And no. That's all you, that's a little booty call sex friend. Leave that alone, because that's not going to help your marriage. You know, when you begin to change yourself, God will see, and he will begin to bless your marriage, you know, through our ancestors. You know, we pray to God through our ancestors, and our ancestors deem us worthy and go to God on our behalf. That's my spiritual religion. That's my religion, what I believe in, what works for me, how I changed my life. Because I'm going to tell you something. A little while back, not too long ago, I was a hot mess. I wasn't right. I wasn't doing right in my marriage. I was not doing right, period. I wasn't doing right in my life. I fell by the wayside. But I'm telling you what, I'm done dibbling and dabbling. I'm going to live my life right. You know, all that holy moly hypocritical stuff, you know, in and out, back and forth. I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm going to tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. Just like I told my husband, you know, you may not want to hear what I'm going to say, but I'm going to tell you the truth. Cause I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Them lying days over with. I'm gonna tell you the truth, the honest to God truth, how I overcame. Because if I don't tell you the truth and how I overcame, if I don't let you know what worked for me and my testimony, how I'm gonna help you, how can I tell you anything? If I'm gonna hide behind my past, if I'm gonna hide behind, how I got over, how I got through, what worked for me, my God, and my ancestors. So, it's a story to tell. It is. And but it's a